Guardian, Eris has detected a gravitic anomaly beneath the spire. She thinks it's a ritual chamber.
We call that the Arcane Oubliette. Savathun stores all kinds of drooling goons in there. Warm bodies for her magical experiments. If you want to feed blood and guts to your discount hive god, that's the place to do it.
Panicked throws echo upward from the well of power and death. I sense the oubliette beneath you, Guardian. Assemble in the ritual space, and we shall harvest the fruit of Savathun's foul experiments as our own.
After I resurrected Savathun, she was dying to learn about her new light. But she needed test subjects to experiment on. Same way you use the poor slobs in Gambit for target practice. Listen to this.
I named this chamber the Oubliette, after a human invention. A prison where the only exit is the ceiling, just out of reach. A place for people to be thrown in and forgotten, until the time is right. This is where I'll keep in touch with all my bygone subjects, both as a queen and researcher.
Do you feel it? The latent power of the Witch Queen's spellcraft. Finalize the ritual to complete the summoning. like a surge of hot blood.
Where are these subjects being summoned from?
Some kind of suspended animation? Maybe they're teleported from somewhere right into your gun sights. But what do you care? They're all just dead meat to you.
Your arcane skill conjures forth horrors once cloistered, awaiting brutal deliverance. And so they shall receive it. your tides the fear and anguish of our foes. Exalt in your retribution.
You know why the boss is so much better at magic than you? It's because she's not afraid to make the tough choices. Listen.
I'd like to share my experiments with the Guardians one day, just as we share the light. But I know they won't approve of my methods. They love omelets, but hate breaking eggs. Maybe participating in my rituals will expand their provincial sense of morality.
Your arcane skill expands with each ritual you complete. Our powers will grow in tandem until we are ready to challenge the god of war herself. Retribution for the lost! Bell, Luriana, Oma, Sai, and Tolan! Tithe unto me, Acolyte. Ayat.
Guardian, the value of the magic you've unearthed here is undeniable. But watching you and Eris revel in violence, tithing with hive rituals, it was disturbing.
Like it or not, your witch is gonna need a lot more tithes before she's powerful enough to challenge Xivu. So, go ahead, sport. Make a mess. Enjoy yourself. Welcome to the Hive.
Glint, hold that thought. Hey, Guardian. I'm ready.
It's hard not to feel that this is my responsibility. While we in the tower gathered intel and debated over what action to take next, Eris threw herself into a dangerous ritual of her own devising. She was audacious. And she was right. We had to accept Savathun's bargain. We must pursue the witness at any cost. But I didn't imagine we would risk Eris in the exchange. She remains herself. I recognize Eris when I look into her eyes. She wears her new form like a suit of armor, but she speaks of whispers calling to her from the deep, and I have no assurance she can resist them forever. You must embrace the Hive rituals as she did. Offer your tithes so that she may gain the power she desires, and quickly. Commit yourself to her guardian. I believe it is in everyone's best interest to keep her metamorphosis as brief as possible.
Hive magic reveals itself in precise shapes. They follow the same lines and the same means. And yet our rituals still hold many secrets. Cards have scattered in the wake of your oblations. Our bond made manifest. I call them the Deck of Whispers. And they do whisper. Each of their ideograms appears to carry the weight of symbolism. Do not fault them for the forms they take. They are reflections of the real, and as opaque as the natures of their referent. We will interpret their configurations, divine their use. They may hold many meanings, alone and in conversation. As with all Hive magic, they ask us to separate the true from the dead. We will do so. Greetings, Guardian. I am focusing my will, preparing myself to step into the ritual space once again. When I first transformed, I thought I might become something greater. Instead, my doubts fell away and I found myself simplified, refined. Though I became Hive, I was more myself. I mentioned that to Ikora and she furrowed her brow. I told her she would have time to worry later. But now, I need tithes. Sword logic may be high philosophy, but your tithes of power are real. And when I absorb them, it feels like hope. Fight in my name, Guardian. Every opponent you defeat strengthens me, from Shax's Crucible to Savathun's own throne world. The Hive believe that only the strongest have earned their existence. If a queen cannot hold her power, she must be betrayed. I will not deny them their dogma. I will embody it.
sword logic. The impetus of the Hive. Oryx, the Taken King, brother to Savathun and Xivu Arath, sought whispers from the worms of Fundament and dredged this truth from the deep. All things must prove their right to exist. The rest will die in terror. There is neither escape nor exemption. Simple, essential, beautiful to know. Oryx led his sisters down the bladed path. We have tested ourselves against horrors. We emerge changed. Through this, we become stronger. We become free. We will avail ourselves of our enemy's tools. Xivu Arath believes every death proves the sword logic. That she unveils the false shape of the Traveler's lie by her blade. But she needs her truth. She is desperate for its vindication. She wishes for a world without grief, or pity, or doubt. Not baleful, not beautiful. A childish cry. The Hive call us liars, the unfree, deniers of the all-edged truth. But I take the power the sword logic offers not out of desperation, but desire. For Crota. Oryx. Savathun. I wield their killers as a knife. The Hive know this truth as well as any logic. I am here, and they are not. Ayat.
This tomb. It's not just that you were worried about us, was it, Finch? You've been here.
Yeah, this is where I met him. My knight. My guardian. This is where I thought I mattered.
I was cruel when we met, Finch. I thought you were a monster for choosing to hide willingly. I don't know what I would have done in your situation. But you making that choice has helped us save lives. I'm sorry you had to go through that alone, and that I judged you so harshly.
Yeah, well, I'm not going through it alone anymore.
Good timing. I was just looking for you.
I heard you Guardians got a lesson in sword logic today. You think you can defeat Xivu Arath with philosophy? Right. Let me show you something. Savathun kept records, and I took a look at what she had on her sister. Got a recording from way back, just after you Guardians drop-kicked Oryx into Saturn's orbit. Call it a primary source for your little research project.
Our brother is dead. I will take my revenge as he sought for his son.
Revenge? For what? The dead deserved to die. That's your own logic. Oryx was a hypocrite, and so are you.
He loved us. He made of our deaths a study. And she, who has endured, who sharpened the sword of his defeat, has done the same. She will take up his mantle. When she is bared to her true shape, we will meet her on the bladed path.
What a vain child you are. Oryx spoiled you rotten. Not everyone wants to be like you. And you won't always get your way.
I will test my strength against her brood, and she will prove our logic true.
Do you see what you Guardians did? Do you see what's happening here? Xivu Arath thinks Eris is one of them, some kind of heir to Oryx. That ritual of hers tied a pretty bow on that theory. This is all part of Savathun's plan. But I can't help wondering, what the hell does Eris think she's doing?
Hey, Eris. Heard we have some, strange bedfellows. Though, if a bedfellow ain't strange, then they're probably not worth having.
So it seems. Have you come to urge caution? To advise against temptation?
Nah, you know what you're about. But I'm wondering, what's it like?
It begins as a feral surmise, a suspicion. I hear whispers, but they are in my voice. It rises until I am screaming. I make a demand. An atavistic fear now sublimated into a singular, desperate urge. A hunger I must endlessly sate. But the Hive are not afraid. They are awestruck. They know that I am vengeance, and they have conjured me back with vengeance.
Ooh, sounds like a wild ride.
I seek to subvert the Hive's flawed logic. I may only do so because of what I am, and what I am not. It is a wild ride.
Hey, I'll be there when you're on the other side of this.
As will I. Trust.
Surprise, sunshine. Thought I'd hack this old holotech and say hello. I don't like this whole let's work together plan, but I don't have to. I've got my orders. Let me play something for you.
Imaru, if I am indisposed, bide your time. The witness will force the Vanguard's hand eventually, and they'll realize they need information only I possess. One of them will be open to a bargain. Not Mara again, poor dear. More likely Ikora, or her gloomy little hanger-on Ares. Give them any help they ask. It'll all be worth it in the end. And tell them something clever, to make them think that this was their idea.
You get all that, Guardian? Savathun wants me to give you the soft sell. But that's not really my style. So, go ahead. Bust up the throne world. Get as strong as you like. Tithe to Eris until she's fat as a tick. It's all part of Savathun's plan. Oh, you need any help digging your own grave? Just let me know.
Beloved acolyte, champion of violence, bearing tides raw and sweet as bitten sores. A voice from the deep whispers, In your immortality, Erismorn, may you never cease your demand for vengeance. I refuse. In time, I will destroy this hive form alongside the rest. Its power has no hold over me. Ziggurat will not fall to might alone. Every clash of blades invigorates her. Even now she feeds, as she has fed since the first red cough, the first war song. Still, I savor every tithe. Their strength thrills me, and there are so many old debts to repay. But this is not the time. The cards speak of change. A ripple is cast. A great shadow rises from the sea of blood. Something is coming.
You're one of the best. The Iron.
What is it that Cayde says? Teamwork makes the dream work?
Cayde may be gone, but he will not be forgotten. Just ask anyone on the farm.
Cayde 6. Wish I could have met him. Some of the stories I've heard.
Was Cayde frustrating? At times, but it was part of his charm. A lovable fool, and quite the shot to boot.
Eververse isn't jumping.
You're one of the best. The Iron.
Another hunter brought these back. Take a look.
Let's see what we've got for each other. Speak to me not of the darkness. I want no part.